Hi everybody, this is Charles from Wonder Unit. I just want to show you a new feature that we're working on inside of Storyboarder called Shot Generator, and a very particular feature inside of Shot Generator. So we started creating Storyboarder as a tool to allow us to simply storyboard. So you create new shots, you draw into those shots. Here are some storyboards drawn by Dan Milligan for our feature that we're working on called Explorers. One of the nice things about this is that the images are absolutely beautiful. However, it's very difficult for us to make minor changes in the shot. So while these shots are absolutely beautiful and set the tone, for more exacting things, for more technical things, we really wanted to be able to make some edits. So we created a feature called Shot Generator, and it's a pretty simple and easy to use tool. You basically create a new board, you open Shot Generator, and you can quickly add some characters around, move those characters, change the pose, change the camera angle, and once you have the shot that you want, you basically can save it to your board. So when I go back to my board, I got this shot. Very simple and easy and fast to set up shots. And what's really cool is that if later on when I come back to the shot, I say, oh, you know what, I wanna change the camera angle, maybe something a little lower and wider. Go down here and change the field of view and go a little bit closer. Here I have the shot that I want, and I can save it, and now I have this edited shot. So you can see some examples where we can do some kind of complicated things. So in this case, we have a sort of complicated scene. If I want to go in and edit this, you can kind of see exactly how complicated it is. There's this character, he's flying towards the camera. There's a bike that's busted in the background. There's kind of volumetric effects. In this case, we took some of Dan Milligan's storyboard art, and we recreated those shots so that we can make some more shots, change the camera angles, and then test out some blocking and pacing. So here's an example of where we took a board and then we made a shot generator shot. Here's a board, and I was really curious how we would shoot something like this. So we made a shot generator shot, and we tried a couple different shots here. This is an example of a very interesting pose. And so I thought, oh man, it would be really awesome if we could, within the matter of minutes, pose these characters and create a replica of this shot so that we could set up the scene and do some camera blocking for the scene itself. And so here we did, and the results are pretty good. The problem is that manipulating 3D objects in 2D space is really difficult in terms of moving things around, in terms of rotating things, very difficult. So we thought, hey, why not basically be able to edit this scene and or even create new scenes in virtual reality. So we basically have been working on this feature inside of Shot Generator, and yeah, I'll show it to you. So basically, if you have a VR setup, you basically just click on Open in VR. I will put my headset on, pick up my controllers, and now what I'm looking at is a virtual representation of the shot that I've created. So inside of virtual reality, I can see the whole scene. Whoa, hello. So basically, what you're looking at here is the scene that I've created in Shot Generator in the windowed mode, but in the future, you'll just be able to go right into virtual reality and add characters, objects, etc. So navigation is pretty simple. You basically just hold the grip, and currently you just tap the grip and you're able to teleport to other places. So if I want to teleport back here, look at the scene, I can do that. What's cool is that I can basically manipulate any object. So if I want to take this chair and pick it up and like put it here, and then take this box and move it and put it right there, I can do that. Let's see, I can also like move these characters and like like, let's say if I want to put this character up here onto the thing, that's fine. Um, yeah, so that's basically it. Let me show you how the cameras work. So, see ya. So one of the interesting things is the ability to see all the cameras that I've placed in the scene. So in this case, you can see that I've set up this camera to sort of get an establishing shot. I can actually pick the camera up and move it anywhere I want. So if I get closer, I can change the angle. I can bring it down. I can like make a sort of high angle. And then I see this sort of like interesting wide close-up, and I can move that around as well. So if I want to get like a particular shot, I can get right in there, and that looks kind of good. And what's really cool is that as I'm making these changes are updated back to Shot Generator. So yeah, that's basically how it works. Let me show you a couple other scenes just so you get sort of get a sense of scale. Okay, so here's this shot, or here's this, yeah, I guess shot inside of Shot Generator, but I guess really it's more like a scene. Here is a kind of, let's see, let me move back into place. So here is the sort of complicated pose. This is the camera that I can move around. Let's see. You can see there's like a close-up of these kids behind there. Here's a like low angle shot. And you just get a sense and idea like how you can just kind of manipulate everything in the scale of this space. Okay, so to give you a sense of scale, here's a scene where people fall down a huge shaft, which is the break into the second act of our movie. Let me just teleport back here so you can see. I've set up a camera so I can get sort of a wide shot and an even wider shot from above here. So you kind of get a really great sense of scale of the entire space. Like, I know that you can't see it, like feel it through this video, but it's, you know, it feels massive. Here's another example of how I placed a camera looking up. So that's kind of interesting. And, you know, if I want to like dress the shot a little bit, I can kind of move some objects in here. So that looks kind of cool. So this is an interesting scene. Let me step off to the side. So what we had was these kids looking off into the distance, looking at this huge statue with a lake in between them. And we had the boards, but I was really curious about what the sense of scale was. Like, how tall is this statue itself? So this is what the storyboard looks like. And so I just built the scene around to the storyboard so I can basically see the way that was. And what was kind of interesting was when I set up a camera in the reverse, I kind of had this like really nice shot of the 5 kids looking up, which is really cool to be able to see that's what they're looking at. So just another example of getting a sort of sense of scale and then seeing where your cameras are placed for the setups. Here's like a long lens, which you can kind of see, like, you know, you could get close-ups of all of the characters. But yeah, that's the idea. Now, one thing I want to talk about is that the Oculus Quest is coming out soon, and I am not sure if this is going to work on the Oculus Quest. But if it does, that's going to be really, really awesome. The great thing will be that literally, if you buy the Oculus Quest and it works, you will be able to set up a shot on your laptop, and then as a standalone device, open up the Oculus Quest, go to an address, and then you can basically do what I'm doing now and not have to have a PC set up, which is really, really great. So I hope that it's going to work, and we're going to basically just make things a lot nicer But yeah, hello. Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, let me know what you think.